Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to the Case of the Golden Idol, where today we're doing whatever this is. I gotta say, at the very least, I appreciate these guys' taste in stained glass windows. The strange practices of a secretive society. Let's just have a peek, shall we? Okay, don't know what that sound is. I mean, it sounds like a spacecraft, frankly. So we got a few different kinds of footprints here that we're gonna have to match to boots or something, I'm sure. Hi there. You seem to have a tattoo on your back. An eye looking up at a clawed hand, or just a hand with very poor fingernail hygiene. Oh, you have so many things on you. A loaded pistol, a coil of rope, this dagger. Everybody loves Ash Blair's tobacco. It is surely the finest. To David Gorin for reliable service. David, the gathering will be on March 14th. To follow our plan, we should be there at least 2 hours before midnight. The target will arrive in full costume. Grab rope and weapons. WK. Okay, it is not that time right now. The music here is way too intense. What is going on right now? Another loaded pistol. A picture of some hats. Sure, a clean new coat. A sword. Thank you. That is, in fact, a hat. And here we have something's being dragged by 2 sets of people. It looks like these are the people from the other footprints, right? Yeah. They drag the thing. They drag this dude into the bush here, and then they separate. Brothers wear masks appropriate to their house. You got your dark hands, your proud beasts, and of course your water snakes. All your classic Legend of the Hidden Temple sort of vibes here. Wear robes appropriate to your rank. I can't believe that, like, these things are essentially the equivalent of like an employees must wash their hands sign. Seems very silly to hang out just like in front of your secret hideaway entrance. Masters. I ventured on the Order's mission to reclaim our fire-breathing relic and, with great resolve, punish the despicable enemy. I, with a few brave companions, fearlessly entered his hideout in a remote hunting cabin. But the devil had prepared a treacherous trap, and an explosion slaughtered my dearest friends as he entered his study. Thanks to my sturdy physique, I survived the blast, only to be assaulted by the enemy's lackey, assassin warrior David Gorin, and a pack of bloodthirsty hounds. After an hour of fight, I received numerous deadly wounds, in spite of which I prevailed and defeated my assassins with my martial training. I discovered the enemy's dead body, slain by the trap of his own making, but no trace of the relic. I am forced to go into hiding because the government's watchmen are tracking me. Once I have recovered from my deadly wounds and shaken off the watchmen, I will send you the next report. May the Griffin awaken. Walter Keane. This is so that was January of 1789? Yeah. All right, another message, October of 1789. They have this nice table that is just for chronologically laying out correspondence from Walter Keane, which is weird. Masters, I must apologize 1,000 times for my absence, but my road to recovery was full of peril and valor that cannot be sufficiently conveyed in writing. The government dogs and spies chased me tirelessly, and I was forced to seek refuge in Aquitania to recover from my still dire wounds. There I finally bested my pursuers with the help of Lazarus Hurst, a young resourceful gentleman whom I met in a remote manor one dark winter's night. Not only did he earn my trust by stepping into the fray against the villains, he turned out to be well versed in the arcane arts. Of course, not yet close to your skills. I have finally recovered and plan to return to Albion. I suggest that Lazarus would be a fine addition to the Order. I vouch for him and will invite him to undergo the appropriate trial. May the Griffin awaken. Walter Keane. All hail the Glow Cloud. January 1790. Illuminated Masters, I object to the admittance of the individual Lazarus Hurst to our brethren. I submit that our dark-haired brother Walter Keane, who vouches for him, cannot be trusted, because he is a liar and a thief. I am certain that, on dispatching our enemy, he kept the golden fire-breathing relic for himself. Nothing will move me on this. He must produce the relic, apologize personally to me, and afterwards be expelled from our brotherhood. So saith Sir Geoffrey Sinclair. Well, it seems like Geoffrey Sinclair's got a little bit of a bead on Walter Keane's personality, huh? Okay, and in here, some doings have transpired. You know what? Hold up. I want to go look at this first. I was figuring we would get a less complicated scene here, and I guess we have, in some ways. Fish sitting idly on a table. Okay. All right, I don't know what to make of any of this. Prepare to receive what you have earned. February of 1790. Brother, a member of our order has proposed a new candidate to join our brotherhood. Our brother's trustworthiness, however, has been challenged. Therefore, we have decided to take measures to resolve the fate of these individuals. If the brother can prove himself, he can vouch for the newcomer. If the newcomer survives the appropriate trial, he will join our ranks. You are summoned to join our gathering on March 14th and fulfill your role in the rites of the brotherhood. So, presumably, we're around March 14th, right? Just a couple of brands, couple of classic brands, an adorable lion. Listen, I'm not saying that getting branded, like, that this would take the edge off. What I am saying is, imagine getting branded with a lion that looks like this and not laughing. How would you do it? How would you manage? Oh, interesting. Inception. You must endure the tests of Snailfire Water Tree administered by Proud Beast Steward. For evaluation, you must endure... Okay, so they're in different orders here. I thought I saw it turn into the hand cursor. Interesting. I have signaled to Griffin who I am. I accept my fate, whatever it may be. That is a tall skull you got there, friend. Okay, so... yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on here that I don't know what to make of yet. Alright, this is going to be where a huge percentage of our words come from, apparently. The ritual of squabble. Only initiates can be defender and accuser. The sword must be borne by any dark hand. The required decorations of the hall, the Grim Reaper, the never-tiring teacher, the feeder of mouths. For the ritual of conflict, the accuser must deeply hate the defender. The sword must be borne by any initiate, required decorations of the hall, the never-tiring teacher, the keeper of treasures, or the mirror of the soul. Probably and the mirror of the soul. For the ritual of dispute, only stewards or higher can be a defender and accuser. The scepter must be borne by a winter snake master, the keeper of treasures, the never-tiring teacher, the Grim Reaper. And for the ritual of discord, the houses of the accuser and defender stand behind their brothers. The scepter must be borne by Dark-Hand Master. Required decorations, the Speaker of the Blind, the Grim Reaper, the Keeper of Treasures. Okay. Done when an accuser has challenged a defender. Both drinkers must be barefoot, obviously very important. The substance is added depending on the severity of the accusation, including deadly poison. So add substance to one of the two cups. Defender chooses first. Accuser chooses the remaining. Not really chooses. Both parties partake in their wine cups. Okay, well, clearly this has occurred. The Griffin has spoken. That is a very fun vial of poison. I like it a lot. And I guess we figured out... I guess we figured out what these red rings are for, what they mean. 2 cups on a stone altar. They contain some wine, but are almost empty. It's a key for some reason. A silver tankard with some red wine in it. Let us await the results from the chamber below. You have a big old sword plus a ruby ring. You have a very cool ceremonial scepter. plus, shockingly, a ruby ring. Man in the mask is not breathing. Who would have thought? So we're still missing 4 words, huh? Did I... Doesn't look like we missed anything outside. Was it down here? Oh, okay. These are the... Yup. Alright. So... This is a weird set of scenes. So someone was blue word to a yellow ritual. Challenged, one assumes, instead of being drank. He, along with this other person, ambushed somebody posing as somebody, signaled to somebody with a thing which had no whatever. This has got to be drank, right? So you're challenged to a ritual. You signaled to somebody. Signaled to something with a blank, which blank, no blank. Well, this one's got to be like poison, right? Signaled to somebody with a blank, which blank had no blank. What is this one? Grammatically, even. What is this? Somebody drank the other thing and died. Cup. I guess. Meanwhile, somebody passed the ritual to become thing. Okay. So, there's a lot to figure out here. Alright. David Gorin and Walter Keane were working together. Walter Keane was the one who was challenged. But he and David Gorin ambushed somebody, and then Walter Keane, posing as somebody, did some other stuff. I feel like that part's right, at least. Alright, let's, I might actually want to, like, take a screenshot here. Never tiring teacher, keeper of treasures, mirror of the soul. This, like, blue tassel thing is absolutely everywhere and does not matter anywhere, it seems like. So, okay. These masks must indicate rank or something. The masks indicate either rank or clan, and the robes indicate the other one of those two concepts, right? It must be. Excuse me. Had to take a drink myself there. From a cup that is probably not poisoned. I'm going to say there's like a 60% chance that it is not poisoned. Okay, so Walter Keane was challenged to some kind of ritual. The decorations of the hall. We have a Grim Reaper for sure. The never-tiring teacher, the feeder of mouths. I mean, nothing around here looks like any of that to me. Speaker to the blind, the keeper of treasures. Yeah, I don't know. There's a Grim Reaper and there's not really anything else around here that is anything. It's just sort of a gray room. There's paintings downstairs, but... Alright, masks appropriate to their house. Do these masks... I mean, the masks don't correspond to these things at all. Robes appropriate to their rank with a number of eyes, but none of the robes we can see have any eyes on them. So it's probably meant to imply like number of clan appropriate symbols or something like that. So you are a Dark Hand Initiate. That one's easy enough. Everybody else's stuff is going to be under their fucking clothes, though. Yeah, I can't see you from an angle that matters. I mean, it feels like you're probably the lion thing. Oh, you're about to brand this guy Lion and I. So... which one is Lion? Lion is, yeah, Proud Beast. I could probably have guessed that if I just looked at the names of them. So you're about to be a Proud Beast Initiate, or you already are, kind of, because it says, you know, prepare to receive what you have earned. This guy could be Proud Beast, maybe? This outfit's got a lot of diamonds on it, but I don't really know what that means in terms of rank. I'm assuming more symbols is more good, right? More symbols is higher. So the only test we have here is fire. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have the numbers on them in exactly the same way that they're represented here. So I guess what could these be? Carry a house on your back. That's snail. This is not fire though. Time? I mean, it's not time either. This could be water solely because there is a fish, I guess. And then this is 2 images of the same dude. I am leery of calling that a test of stars. I will say, I think that like the 4 paintings, assuming those 4 paintings are supposed to correspond to the one that we're selecting here, I think this part, this group of symbols makes way more sense than this group of symbols. That tree has no relation to the 4th thing at all. Neither do the stars, but yeah, so that makes this the ritual of admission, potentially. Which makes sense, because he's being branded with the lowest rank. And then we just have to figure out what the hell your deal is. And unfortunately, I don't know. So if these are the 3 clans, and these are the 3 ranks, how do we know? And I guess to some extent that's like, that's guesswork too, right? Because the robes could just as easily be the thing that indicate the clan, and the mask indicate the rank. Totally could be. Do we have any way to tie the appearance of these masks to a particular rank? I don't think we do. What's that letter in your pocket say? Just calls him brother. Hardly anybody in here has anything of interest in their inventory anyway. And again, it's a situation where there's a small enough number of possibilities that it's very brute forceable, but obviously I don't want to do that. I would prefer to avoid the brute force. Yeah, so Walter Keane's acting kind of squirrely, not coming through with the money. I'm trying to like look closer at the mask and see if for some reason it gives me a vibe of anything in particular. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to look for rank differences between these two. And I don't know. I cannot make heads or tails of it. Okay, how about this? The drinking ritual. So if we can figure out what drinking ritual they're doing based on the decorations of the hall, then we can use that to figure out what rank they must be doing the challenge. Okay, yeah. So the Grim Reaper, the Never Tiring Teacher, the Feeder of Mouths. I mean, I don't see any decorations in the hall except... Oh, that's what the blue tassels are marking, maybe? But, like, don't these all require the... Okay. I guess maybe they're not always put on top of a big book. A book is a never-tiring teacher. And then a key. The Feeder of Mouths? Probably not. Keeper of Treasures? Could be Keeper of Treasures. Probably not Speaker of the Blind. Okay, what if it's the Ritual of Dispute? It's probably the Ritual of Dispute. So only stewards or higher can be defender and accuser. The scepter must be borne by Water Snake Master. So let's say you're a Water Snake Master, making one of these two elements the Water Snake and the other one the Master. It's pretty hard to tell. Okay, here's the thing we do know. This robe... So this look here, this is a person who is at least a steward. That's a person who's at least a steward. That's a person who's a Water Snake Master. The similar robes could indicate that these are both stewards. One of them a water snake and one of them something else. But it also could be the case that, like, this is the steward mask and this is the master mask. And the robes indicate instead that they're just from the same clan. And I don't feel like we have a way of being conclusive about that. Only stewards are higher. Okay, so... if you're a White Snake Master, you're both something else. Actually, not necessarily. They could be masters. This is a conflict that is allowed between masters. I mean, we could just pick a direction and go for it. And let the game do the guess and check. It's pretty straightforward. Oh, I should fill in which ritual it is. Because we did figure that out. It's the Ritual of Dispute. So you're Water Snake Master, which is the thing we know. We don't know anything else about the sword, right? This doesn't tell us anything about the sword. Yeah, I would hate to get there just by making an assumption. Is there anything else we can work on while we're trying to look for a little bit more evidence? Do we think this guy's a steward? He's probably not a master because he's receiving direct orders from the masters, right? We can see that letter in his pocket. I feel like we're like a single good realization from this whole thing sort of cracking and falling into place. Ugh, okay. Apologies. I'm going to have to drop just a very brief cut in here. I will be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm back and hopefully in better shape. My esophageal troubles are definitely acting up more at night lately, and I do a lot of this recording at night, so... Ugh. Anyway. So, where were we? We were trying to figure out how to determine rank here. I need one more person whose identity we can figure out in a different way. Let's target will arrive in full costume. Do we have any way of knowing which costume pieces belonged to this person? I just noticed that there's like a they set down a piece of paper to put the hat on so it wouldn't get muddy. I do not understand the significance of this drawing of a bunch of hats. That's a tough one for me. The shoes, perhaps. Yeah, okay. So notice the shadows under these guys look a little bit different than the shadows under those guys. I am wondering if these are supposed to be, like, muddy? We can't see anyone's feet well enough to know if they have, like, significant heels on their shoes, which is a shame. Because the footprints out here... Like, these shoes have some heel, and they're... the arch is up off the ground. So the idea is Walter would come in his own costume. For Goran, they would grab whatever. So that way Goran and Walter would be able to enter together and fix the ritual in favor of Walter. Right? That makes sense, like, as a story. Which would mean that probably one of these two is Walter and the other one is David. What was Walter's rank? Do we know that? All this stuff. May the Griffin awaken. There's Lazarus Hurst. Our dark-hand brother, Walter Keane. So Walter Keane is himself a dark hand. Well, then these two cannot be Walter and David then, because David's costume was stolen from a Dark Hand, and these two do not have any elements in common. I mean, they ambushed a Dark Hand initiate. The robes don't look like they sync up with that idea at all. It doesn't really feel to me like there's an expression of 1, 2, 3 here, you know? I wonder if I'm missing something really obvious. So right, this is the admission ritual going down. Yes, we can have the word proud beast in both places, but it might be better for that to be the name of the person because we have their name here. So that could be Lazarus Hearst right there. But do we have any reason to think that like Lazarus Hearst's thing had to be taking place on this day? A member of our order has proposed a new candidate. If the brother proves himself, he can vouch. Okay, yeah. So this is the newcomer and the brother being tried at the same time on March 14th. So yeah, this is probably Lazarus Hearst then. And you are... I don't know. Do we know anything? Did any of these notes contain any information about like rank or anything? Do we know? Do you have to not be an initiate in order to initiate people? That's probably right? Like this guy's role is probably higher. It could be he's a steward, and again, this is the steward coat. Could be. So you have shoes on. It's these two who are barefoot. But it's not an element of the coat situation. Why are two of you barefoot? Nobody left their boots behind. Somebody posing as somebody. So maybe this is actually David Gorin posing as the Dark Hand Initiate. Signaled to somebody else with a blank, which blank had no blank. See, grammatically, this is a little tricky. signal to somebody with a sword, which... Like, what is the word that goes here? What word even can go here, sentence structure-wise? You certainly can't say a blank which squabble had no anything, which conflict had no... Which... Yeah. I don't know. I don't think you can make a sentence where you put any combination of these three words in here and it sounds at all like English grammar. Perhaps I will be pleasantly surprised here in a little while when we figure this out. But for right now, I'm starting to wonder if this is doable. So there's 2 sets of bare feet. These are certainly not barefoot footprints. These probably aren't either. But like... Here's a question. Why did they drag this guy into the bushes, stash him there, and then leave the bush slightly separately? I mean, I think the implication would be that this person was in fact leaving, not even going to the ceremony. And presumably that would be David, right? Because Walter Keane has a little bit more skin in the game. We have such an even distribution of like masks and robe types and stuff. It's really frustrating. Yeah, I don't... Okay, both drinkers must be barefoot. Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's why they're barefoot. It's weird, though, that that's the case. What happened to their boots? Are there boots around here? Does not look like it. That's a shame, because knowing what kind of footwear they were wearing could be really helpful, actually. And nobody here is drawn as wearing any kind of footwear in particular. Yeah, I do not think... Based on the required decorations, I do not believe that it's any of these other rituals. I think the Ritual of Dispute is correct. So everybody has their ring, including the people who stole rings. Okay, so if this is, if we say this is Walter Keane, he was made to win the challenge, and this is David Gorin, just because the way that it would be most profitable for the two of them is for David to be the one who's controlling where the poison is. Is the poisoner... Do we know anything about the poisoner? We don't. Not really. And they should both be wearing dark hand outfits. They should both be marked as dark handers. Then... Oh, wait. Mask appropriate to house. Robe appropriate to rank. Yeah, that's... Okay. That's information we have already. So, like, these two have the same mask on. If there are supposed to be two characters who are dark hands here, that seems to match. So if we call that the dark hand mask, that would make this the water snake mask, which we know, and that's the proud beast mask. And then that is either steward or master garb, but this must be master garb. That's right. I forgot that we were explicitly told that the robes were, the masks were one thing and the robes were the other. So I guess that makes this the steward's thing and this the initiate's thing. Okay. That does make some stuff easier. So then here we have a Proud Beast steward. It makes a lot of sense that that would be the person branding the Proud Beast initiate. Do they want me to say Proud Beast initiate here? No, he is not. Not in fact. Two or fewer slots are incorrect. So is this not the ritual of admission? So, Inception. This is supposed to be fire? How is this fire? I mean, because it's administered by a Proud Beast steward, so it must be that ritual. But those things do not match very well, in my opinion, at all. Fire, water... I mean, the water thing makes enough sense. And then this is tree? Somehow? Growth, maybe? I don't know. This simply is not fire. Like, that's just not correct, actually. Alright, so we can fill in a bunch of these too. Here we have a Proud Beast Master. Here we have a Water Snake Steward. Here we have a Water Snake Initiate. And then my feeling is that this is Walter Keane, who we know is a Dark Hand. And this is David Gorin in his stolen Dark Hand Initiate outfit. Yeah. Okay. So, I can grab these back for over here now. Walter Keane and David Gorin did the thing. Was challenged to a dispute ritual. Walter Keane posing as... Well, no, so this is going to be David Gorin who is posing as someone, because Walter Keane is in this scene himself. Walter Keane posing as a Dark Hand Initiate. Oh, signaled with a blank. Which blank? This is a... I had been misunderstanding the grammatical use of the which here. It's not like... I'm trying to think about how do I express grammatically the case that I was reading this as, which can't work with the words we have. It doesn't matter. So I'm imagining he signaled to Walter Keane with a something, which cup had no poison. So how did he signal it to him? That's a really good question. Some water snake steward who we know nothing about drank from the other cup and died. How did he... What was the manner of the signaling? What words do we have? I mean, he could have signaled with the tankard. He could have pointed. It sort of seems like it's pointed at one cup. Maybe. He doesn't have anything else to do it with, so. Okay, something here is not right, but it's a pretty small something. Water snake steward drank from the other cup and died. That's correct. Walter Keane was challenged to a dispute ritual. That is also correct. He and David Gorin ambushed the Dark Hand Initiate. David Gorin, posing as the Dark Hand Initiate, signaled to Walter Keane with a tankard. Let me just, real quick here. I guess that's not necessarily telling. What I was thinking is, if we could change one word out and it didn't change the amount of incorrectness it was, that might be useful to us to figure out which blank we're supposed to be working with at least. But it's not necessarily going to be functional here. If I was replacing both parts of a name or something, then if I was messing with the wrong part of it, I would be increasing the wrongness of it by at least 2, and so we would no longer be getting this message. But if we're only swapping out one thing, it's possible for that to have been the problem, and for us not to lose the message. So oh, right, I didn't change this back to Inception Ritual. That's what it is. Okay, I got there eventually. After being challenged to a ritual with potentially deadly consequences, Walter conspired with David to devise a plan which would ensure his own safety. They captured a Brotherhood member on his way to the gathering. David took his costume so that, during the ritual of dispute, he could indicate to Walter which cup had been poisoned. Therefore, Walter chose the safe cup, and his opponent drank the poison and died. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. You know what? Let's go ahead and go for one more. The crowning celebration by the lighthouse. So part of the issue here is that, it makes a lot of sense to me to do all of the information gathering first, and then once we have all the pieces, start looking at everything. But as you can see already, the cases are complicated enough that I am forgetting parts of them before we get all the parts together. So maybe it would be a good idea for us to start by looking at the thinking thing here. So somebody, blue is usually a verb. Demonstrate the miracle of something and become something else. Okay. Let's get some... Ooh. Man is not breathing and has a severe wound at the back of his head. His arm appeared to be broken. Just trying to grab some identities here. Water Snake Master. Lately I have experienced disturbing dreams and I feel cursed. Are you the source of this with your magic? Desist immediately and know that when pushed, my rage is absolute. Do not toy with the well-being of the Empire's general, for I do not tolerate being attacked. In my many voyages, I have learned the dark arts too. If need be, I will summon 1,000 invisible demons to crush your bones. It feels like it should not take 1,000. So, Proud Beast Master is a general of the Empire. That's interesting. Dear friend, it is not so simple for me to get you a seat alongside me on the court of directors at the Seven Seas Company. As a doctor, I recommend you to stop obsessing over it, for it will only unbalance your humors. Let us discuss alternatives at the next party at Kensington Palace. Interesting. Huh. Not sure what I'm supposed to be drawing from that. Both his legs appear to be broken. So, pointy shoes with a pretty significant heel going this way. 2 sets of shoes, including those coming back from that way. Or rather, probably going this way first, and then it's the pointy ones that come back. What an honor to experience such an historical event. We've seen this face before, right? Dear Water Snake Brother Maker. Oh, this is Nicholas Maker. As the director of the Seven Seas Trading Company, I do not assess work applications. Please go through the official channels so my staff can evaluate your credentials as an attorney. Darkhand Master JT. Protocol of an attempt to demonstrate a miracle. June 23rd, 1791, the lighthouse on Gull Islet near the Horn of Codhead. That's weird that it also gave us from. Present, Angus McBain, Alistair Cock, James Turner, Walter Keane, Lazarus Hurst, and of course, Mr. Nicholas Maker. Here, I brought back your staff, O Griffin Reborn. Oh, the staff has got the idol inside of it. The golden idol is enclosed within the handle of an ornamental cane, with like a spout at the bottom. A golden snuff box filled with opium powder that says AM. Pictures of hats. For some reason, a very common thing here. Dear Master McBain, these threats to contact the Chief Inspector about my past offend me greatly. Being an honest soul, I have no choice but to comply with your base demands. I may have invited Lazarus into our brotherhood, but he has not shared all his secrets with me. Luckily, I had an opportunity to see him practicing this miracle. He has a magical artifact hidden in his cane. When performing a miracle, he input the following glyphs. Then he presses a small lever on the handle of the cane, and it grants him the powers to demonstrate the miracle. I have no doubt that the staff will work just as well in your hands as his. Okay, so I should remember what this is, but I don't. This is definitely a spell that we saw, a setup that we have seen. So hold on, you're Angus McBain. You are Nicholas Maker for sure. Spooky. People who had the relic in their hands chronologically. So that's Lazarus Hurst, right? He's got the initiate robes on, and also it's just he has a very distinctive face. Kneel before Griffin Reborn and make ready. I will lead you brothers to great many changes. And he's got his belonging ring. After that input, aim at the sky, press the lever to maximum position, and hold for at least 10 seconds. At this point, the idol should be full enough to perform the miracle once. Oh, right. This is the siphon and then expel. Is he gathering energy from the sun? Maybe like... It cannot be plasma. It cannot just be pulling down superheated plasma. Miracle hypothesis. The water works better, but the effect is not as convincing. Therefore, expel. Main challenge is ensuring my balance when holding on to the idol. Practice is paramount. Yep, upon pulling the trigger, if the glyph input is meaningful, the glyph will do the intended action. Okay, yeah, we knew this part. So now that we have you marked, you are Lazarus Hurst for absolute certain. That was an actual miracle. Unbelievable. So there is a Griffin Reborn. A heavy seal with a 7? Heavy seal for the purpose of making a 7. Okay, you've got the tall shoes with the pointy toes. You have horse riding spurs. Okay. And thus Griffin Reborn revealed himself to his brothers by demonstrating a true miracle. It's a big fancy silver crown. Okay. Rules. The one who claims to be Griffin Reborn must perform a miracle. If someone repeats the miracle, it is proven that it was not a miracle, but mere magic, and so claimant is punished with death. If no one can repeat the miracle, the masks fall, and the claimant is crowned as Griffin Reborn. Seems like a pretty big deal, actually. In 1725, the first Darkhand Lord Harrington demonstrated flying, jumped off a cliff to his death. In 1756, Proudbeast Master Lord Pledsley performed a seance, talking to the spirits. Lord Angus MacBain repeated the ritual, proving him unworthy. In 1764, Darkhand Master Lord Jones demonstrated the creation of a homunculus. Lord Angus MacBain produced a homunculus as well. In 1771, Proudbeast Master Lord White carried out the hypnosis of a servant. Lord Angus MacBain hypnotized the same man as well. So Angus MacBain has been responsible for a lot of people being put to death here. We're missing a word somewhere. Presumably it's up here. By guarding the lighthouse, you guard the Empire. General Alistair Cock. And a trapdoor that connects the staircase to the top of the lighthouse, not locked. Okay. That did not give me the word I was looking for. Oh, is there just a word I didn't click on in here? Yes, but it wasn't relevant. Oh, the masks. Nope. The oars? Okay. So, the general is Alistair. The Proudbeast Master. Okay. So, unfortunately, we have two people in master robes here. Yeah, that's problematic. I don't know which one of them is the guy. We've also not actually seen Walter Keane without his mask and hat on before. I don't recognize any of the remaining people as Walter Keane, but clearly one of them is. Well, Walter... hold on. Am I sure you're Angus MacBain? I mean, you're holding a letter addressed to Angus MacBain. That's certainly something. You have a snuff box that says AM. The thing is, Walter Keane was a steward last time that we saw him, right? Maybe he got promoted? Because, like, a little bit of time has passed, right? Alright, what does the left page say here? Somebody... attacked with, cursed with, jumped from the lighthouse using the idol to demonstrate... Okay, so to become is Griffin Reborn. We know this part. Somebody jumped from the thing using the idol to demonstrate the miracle of flying, I assume. Where's the word lighthouse? So this could be, yeah, somebody jumped from the lighthouse afterward. We're using a pretty small number of our overall words here. This resulted in that person's death from a head wound. I mean, from a very serious fall onto their head. This is probably the realist answer there. What else do we know about you? So you're a friend of a doctor. You could be James Turner, but you're probably not, I think, is the intention of that clue. Yeah, unfortunately, the one that says, as a doctor, I recommend you do this, does not have a, it's not signed, not even by roll. So none of them are talking like they are. So you're Griffin Reborn here. You're the one who has made yourself Griffin Reborn. This is Lazarus Hearst, right? This is the guy. The guy that we saw in the last one. Now I got myself all paranoid. Hold on a second. Yes, okay. Lazarus, same face. That is, in fact, the face of Lazarus Hearst. So, no, sorry, not you. Maker. I want Maker. So if you're not Dr. James Turner, excuse me, you're Walter Keane, or you're Alistair. I mean, it wouldn't be Alistair, right? Or it wouldn't be Walter Keane, because Walter Keane was not a water snake. Okay, no, this is all kinds of wrong. Yeah, the way everyone's talking here and like kneeling before him, Lazarus Hearst is the one who jumped and displayed the miracle. So some of you know, because there's this thing on the thinking page about like who had the relic in their hands chronologically. That I'm a little interested in trying to figure out, even though it is not strictly necessary. So the door is locked from the inside, right? Because the person who was inside got out through the roof. What is this? I feel like if I had a better grasp of the significance of this thing, it might help a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, that's interesting. There's only 6 people here in total, but this list has 7 people. It's 6 people. No, never mind. This is 5. My brain. You can tell I am perhaps up a little bit late tonight. All right. You know what? Maybe we just go ahead and take a break in the middle of this one because I'm feeling a little bit stuck. Just go ahead and do something else for a few hours and come back. And hopefully that will have flushed whatever is going on in my brain right now. So that's going to be it for us for the moment. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we are going to solve this case of the Golden Idol. It's nice to have it back. I missed it in these last couple. Or I guess the last one, really. But in any case, I did miss it. So when you come back next time, we're solving this mystery, we're solving new mysteries. We are going to get to the bottom of what is going on with this idol and why everyone who touches it ends up dead eventually. And we'll see you then.